with the most Facebook posts. The adult male, fresh out on bail, straight out of jail, California dreaming. When I see the most Facebook posts. The adult male, fresh out on bail, straight out of jail, California dreaming. When I step on the scene, hear them hoochies screaming, fiending for money and alcohol, the life of the West Side. Play it where cowards die, and it's all ball.
Bro, what the fuck you talking about?
Pardon me. Petty, hard, away.
What the fuck?
What the fuck are we talking about? The show about what the fuck?
What the fuck?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is What the Fuck Are We Talking About? And I am the man with his dick in his hand, the dude with no lube, and the buck who likes to fuck. A-Rod.
The host with the most Facebook posts. The adult male, fresh out on bail, straight out of jail, California dreaming. When I step on the scene, hear them hoochies screaming, fiending for money and alcohol.
Check.
The life of the West Side.
Check.
Play it where cowards die,
Check.
and it's all ball.
Check.
What the fuck you talking
Shekels.
Pardon me. Petty,
Did we transition?
hard,
Did trans just now.
away.
I'm gonna check the sound.
about? What the fuck?
All right. Sounds good.
Does sound good.
Sounds all right. We are back again. Once again, back is the incredible WTF Are We Talking About podcast.
I just shared our video to In the Weeds, which is a group of restaurant workers.
Are they in the weeds?
It's a term. If you don't know what it means, then you don't know what it means.
They like smoking pot.
They do, but it has nothing to do with that.
They like shooting heroin.
They also like doing that, but it has nothing to do with that either.
They like pulling weeds.
I don't know how they feel about
Like
that,
gardeners.
but it has nothing to do with that. By the way, episode 122, the fuck are we talking about? Find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Pornhub, iTunes, JDate, Podbean,
Farmers only.
FarmersOnly.com, Tinder and Grindr.
Mi gente. Black
If
people
that's
meet.
still a thing. Isn't it?
Blackpeoplemeet.com.
That, I'm pretty sure it is, but
And you can meet us.
Is Mayhente still a thing?
Were you on it?
No. I know you said you were.
I was. I absolutely was.
I wasn't.
I was on all the sites.
Yo, anything.
It doesn't
I'm up
matter.
in all the sites. That's you, buddy.
I was like OG internet dating, like chat room,
I was doing that.
AIM.
ASL.
yeah,
ASL check.
trying to get the ladies
Chatting
in
with
the chat rooms.
some girl. It's like, oh, I'm 16 from California.
And you're like,
And it's
word.
probably like a fucking 40-year-old dude chatting with me at that
There
time.
was ways to verify.
I don't know about 97. You know,
97, we were 11. I was 11.
I was 12. I was in
Yeah.
chat rooms.
Yeah.
I was doing the. I
But
was doing
we
it.
definitely weren't going out and meeting nobody at 11.
No,
and
we weren't
12.
going out and meeting them.
No.
But we were talking to them in a group
Around
chat.
like, what time did you like want to go meet them? Like 16 maybe?
Probably.
16, 17?
Yeah.
15, 16, 17.
when you were able to get there,
18.
whether it be a friend that drove, you driving,
Yeah, right.
or using
When you
public
had-
transportation.
yeah,
If
exactly.
you were able to do any of
Once
those
you got
things.
your learner's permit,
Yeah,
you were out
yep.
there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. I remember hopping a bus with my friend Zach and going to some girl's house, getting off the bus stop and being like, "Yo, I think her house is like right here," and
It's
it was
somewhere
right
around.
there. It was like, "Oh, it's right there." Like,
Yeah.
it's cool. That worked.
Yeah.
But I was like 15. So,
Right.
I mean, I'm obviously not gonna fucking drive there.
And then you would go smooch and cuddle.
Yep. I rounded some bases, bro.
Yeah.
I rounded bases. I did. I rounded a couple bases.
Couple bases in your
Yeah.
MLB days.
Yeah. So I thought about this. All right.
No, you didn't.
I did. I thought about this. I don't accept the results.
Of the election.
No, of the Packers and Bucks game from 2 weeks ago.
So you want to storm the Capitol, is what you're saying.
Yes, that's my plan.
Yeah.
No, I don't accept it. So this season's it's fake.
You're going to storm Lambeau
It's
Field.
fake. There's not going to be a real champ this year because the game was stolen. And
You think it was stolen? I don't remember what happened.
No, I don't think it was stolen. Oh, our offense didn't play good. I will say I still think the interception.
Didn't I predict that?
Yeah, of course. It makes sense. Like I got caught up in it because obviously
That's your team.
Exactly. I got skin in the game. So of course I'm not going to go against them. But now I've come to terms with it. So anybody that asks me, who's going to win on Sunday? Well, I mean, Tom Brady's been in 10 Super Bowls and won
He's
6.
very experienced, yeah.
And then they'll say something. I'm like, okay. But like Tom Brady's been in 10 Super Bowls and he won 6. And then they'll say something else and they'll kind of get mad. I'm like, I get it. Like, I understand what you're saying. But like Tom Brady was in like 10 Super Bowls and he won 6. So there's really no argument. Like, you cannot bet against that at this point.
Right.
Smart money's on him. You know?
They're not favored, though, also.
Of course they're not. I don't know. I'm sure you can look it up. But I would assume probably the first 3 or 4 Super Bowls that Tom Brady won or was in, at least, he was not favored to win.
Right.
You know? It's just a thing now. Like, it's something that we've never seen before. Nobody, especially a starting quarterback, has never just been to 10 Super Bowls already and won 6. Like, it just doesn't, it's just not really a thing. But he made it a thing. So, I mean, I think it's cool. But I don't give a fuck because it should be the Packers. Yeah, and like the pick that Aaron Rodgers threw, it wasn't a pick, man. It was a fucking pass interference. The receiver pulled, or the defender pulled the receiver out of the fucking way to get the ball. That's pass interference.
Yeah,
But it wasn't
they didn't
called.
call it because the last
Fucking stupid.
whatever the last time that who the hell were they playing?
Who?
The Packers.
Oh, they played the Rams.
Oh yeah, the last time that the Rams had the ball, right before that pick,
Yeah.
there was some shit that they called that I don't think they should have. So I think they were trying to balance it out a little bit and not call it. So
And I mean, to be fair, like even if we would have beat the Bucks, I don't think we would have beat the Chiefs anyway. Our team was really good this year, but we had those moments where like the game against the Rams, like we gave up a lot of points against the Rams at home against a team that doesn't play in the snow well and had a quarterback with a fucking broken thumb. We gave up a lot of stupid points and yards for no fucking reason. Like, so those kind of games piss me off, but that's why we're not there, because we're not as complete as a Bucks team and a Chiefs team. It's fucking reality. I'm a realist. I was just kind of saying that to be funny, but I'm a realist. Like,
I predicted
we
it
lost.
though. If you go
Bullshit.
back to like my
why I don't bet either.
my exact sentence, I think the week before the game, you were hype. I was like, the Packers are gonna have an offensive game. They're not gonna play
Didn't
like
make any sense.
they've been.
And it wasn't like the Bucks defense. Like, Aaron Rodgers missed a couple passes. Like, it wasn't their best game.
Right.
And it sucks. Sometimes it's just like that, but it's all right. But I don't give a fuck about the game tomorrow. I'm more hyped to play some cards and to hang out.
Phase Stradamus strikes again.
I'm fucking stupid because we have a snowstorm, right? There's like fucking mad snow everywhere. And I pull a $60 piece of meat to smoke for the Super Bowl for my kinfolk. And
Skin folk.
the smoker's fucking buried because, the snowstorm. And me being a fucking degenerate didn't think about that.
You are a degenerate. And a scumbag.
And a scumbag and a slut.
A degenerate scumbag.
Yep. So, yeah. Now I'm going to have to oven roast it. So I'm mad. Like I'm kind of hot coming into this show, and I normally am not like that. I'm usually laid back and cool. I'm kind of a little hot.
Yeah.
I don't seem it though, because I don't really get mad.
Do you feel a little rapey
That's kind of
on your
all the
mind?
time. Yeah. All the time. Yeah. Slightly rapey.
Gabe
but-
said, to be fair, Packers suck monkey ass. Cowboys 22 through 2032 champs. Bitch. We're going on a 10-year streak.
It's a year streak of just winning consistent Super Bowls.
Aaron Rodgers getting traded to the Cowboys.
He ain't getting traded nowhere. He's staying put.
You think so?
Yeah.
He was not very happy after the game.
Well, would you be?
Yes.
I think they're going to be the Packers are going to be put in a position to spend some money and make some trades. We don't do that. It's the one thing the Packers don't do. We don't like make big trades. We don't do a lot in free agency. And when we pick somebody up, it's usually a big defensive player that we get that's leaving. A Julius Peppers,
Someone with the last name Salt.
Charles Woodson.
Oh,
I think his
okay.
name. Yeah, Woodson.
You don't want some dude last name Salt?
No.
Once you have Peppers?
But no, like so J.J. Watt is contemplating, or they're talking about trading him, and I think he's from the Green Bay area, and that's like his team.
Whenever-
So that'd be a great fit. And when the last time we did that, we got a Reggie White, so I
Yeah.
think that would be a good fit. And we won a Super Bowl that year, the year that Reggie White came. So I think that would be a good fit. And then there was a receiver that they were talking about too to give Devontae a number 2. That's our big thing. I think we need. You got to have a number 2 receiver. We don't have that. We just don't.
You think whenever J.J. Watt got roll called in school, they were like, J.J. Watt? And he was like, I didn't say anything.
What? JJ what? JJ Watt. Or
I didn't say anything.
Or they called him what his actual name is, and he made a JJ for the NFL just to be cool.
What's his real name? Josh?
He's white.
Josh,
so it's
Josh.
Josh, Jonathan, or Jacob.
Josh Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt.
Yep. It's my name
No,
too.
it is my name
It's
too.
my name too.
And you know, whenever we're about, the people always shout.
Could be Justin, by the way, also.
Justin James.
Justin James Watt. Be creative. All right?
Hopefully it's not Jimmy.
Yeah. It's a shitty
Did you see the
name.
shooting that happened because Jimmy didn't move his truck?
Yep.
Fucking
I
insane.
know. It's wild. Yeah, I mean, it's America.
I mean, yeah.
Doesn't really surprise me.
Don't, like, people got to relax.
Yeah, they just gotta chill the fuck out. They do.
Don't talk shit to people you don't know and call them pussies and, like, don't escalate. Like, I don't know.
So I went to Williamsport last week.
Virginia?
Nah, PA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's Williamsburg, isn't it?
I believe so.
My cities are
Yeah,
off.
it's all right. Williamsport. It's where they do the Little League World Series. There's a Five Guys out there, and I volunteered to go out there and help one of the managers for a couple days. So I went out there for a few days. It was kind of cool. But upon driving there, I drove through a town, and I put it in the group message. I don't know if you saw it, but I took a picture of this fucking hotel
Oh, yeah. I
and a
seen it.
Denny's next to it. Or no, it was a Friendly's, I think. But I was driving down the highway, and I'm like, oh, I seen a sign for Danville. And I'm like, oh, I remember working a carnival here when I was like fucking 18. And we drove through this town called Turbotville.
Mm-hmm.
And when we were younger, Ben, for some reason, called it Turbo TV Illa. And I don't know why it made me laugh so hard, but I've been saying that to myself for like a week. Like, I will catch myself at work doing something, and I'll think about it in my head and like laugh, like audibly out loud. Like, what's funny? Like, nah, I'm just thinking in my head. It's funny. But I don't know. It just made me laugh. But that night, the first night we were there, we came back from the carnival, and we all had fucking money. And there was this foghorn leghorn that I wanted because I was starting like a stuffed animal collection because I was working for the carnival. And I couldn't get it. And Jimmy and the guys were like, yo, we're going to get that fucking foghorn leghorn for you. And I think we spent like $75 in this crane machine to get this fucking probably $2 piece of stock. And I still
That's
have
what
it.
you guys used to do, so you would have prizes for people to win?
No.
You steal other people's prizes?
No. I could have just I probably could have went to my boss Tim and said, hey, can you get some Looney Tunes shit like Foghorn Leghorn? And he would do it.
Yeah.
But we were kids, and and it was really Jimmy. I was like, nah, fuck that, man. We're going to play till we get that shit. And I'm like, all right, man. And we just kept fucking pumping money into it.
You ever see that dude
But I
who
still
knows all the
have it.
hacks
It's
to
in
those
my daughter's room.
machines?
No.
There's a dude who knows like all the hacks. Like you like hit it in certain places, and then it just like grabs your shit tighter, and it picks it up.
Well, I'm good at crane machines. When I was a kid, I took Katie when she was like probably 3 or 4 to the Allentown Fair, and me, Johnny Stoss, and her got in the newspaper because I played the crane machines they had like a stand that had crane machines, and I won like 25, and I had everything like this, and they got a picture with all of us holding our prizes. So I've always been good at crane machines. Even when we go to the beach, I'm like, what do you guys want? And I got you. Give me, a half hour and a couple bucks, and I got you, and I'll get it out. But it was crazy. I still have the Foghorn Leghorn, like, because I gave all my shit to my daughter. So now in her room, she has basically it's half of her wall, and it's not only stuffed animals that I had, but stuffed animals that I had won over the years and shit. And I went in there to see if I have it, and I still have that shit.
Crazy.
Yeah. So, and I was 17 when I did that, or 18. So, it's gonna be 18 years old at some point, older than my children. It's wild.
Yeah.
It's wild. Do you ever have that, like, where you drive by or go to a place that you were at, like, when you were a kid, and, like, I don't know, it hit you in the feels sometimes in a weird way?
I do it purposely.
Yeah.
A couple years ago, I went and like walked my walk into school route.
Really?
Yeah.
Yo, that's a good idea, bro.
Yeah.
So you walked from like 15th Street down to like UT?
Yeah.
That's cool. That's a good idea.
It was fun.
That's really cool. That's a
Yeah.
really good idea. I do that sometimes when I drive. Like, I'll go to my old neighborhood because I haven't been over there in forever, or where I like, I guess, grew up when I was a kid, like real young, going toward Bethlehem on the east side. There used to be a 7-Eleven there. It's like some pizza place now, but we lived in the house next door in the 3rd floor apartment. And I drive by there sometimes, but driving by that Denny's and that hotel, because it was like our first venture as adults.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we just graduated high school. Like, our boss trusted us to go with another guy to towns and run his games for him. So, like, it was, I don't know, it just hit me in the feels, like, in a major way, man. Like, I've been on like a nostalgia thing for a week since I drove by it.
You gotta do that shit.
It was
sometimes.
cool, bro. It really was really
Like,
cool.
you should go back down by your old house and walk to Allen.
That's a good idea. Right across the street. I'll walk down the alley. I'll probably be like, never mind. I'll skip today. That's what I used to do.
Gabe said only a pedophile would walk his old school route. I mean, there's no kids going there now, so you'd be all right.
So I brought up Williamsport for a couple reasons. You would love it there.
Yeah?
Everybody's fucking anti-mask.
No, yeah, I love it.
I know you would love it, bro.
Everywhere, like most rural places are like that.
And Williamsport, I learned the hard way, is super rural.
Did they just laugh at you when you walked in with a mask? Did they point and laugh?
No, but
Almost.
so all right. In Allentown, like, they're fucking really strict about it. Like,
Yeah,
in
I
my
know.
shopping center, like, we have
It's insane.
security guards that come around. Like, it's nuts. So when I go there and, like, I open the doors and, like, the first group of customers comes in, I'm like, excuse me, guys, you have a mask? He's like, fuck that shit. I'm like, all right, well, there we go. So I didn't say a word to anybody about it the entire time I was there. But even, like, checking into the hotel, like, there's a big sign that says, please wear your mask. And everybody's in the lobby and nobody has masks. The fucking lady at the counter didn't have a mask.
Yeah.
I personally don't care. Like, I
That's all it takes is civil disobedience.
either way. But, like, I went to the fucking Buffalo Wild Wings to get food, and half the crew weren't wearing them. Like, just everybody there was anti-mask, and, like, it was so weird for me to see because I haven't been anywhere since this
that
shit
was
happened.
like that.
It was kind of like maybe a breath of
Like,
fresh air. a
yeah,
little
like
bit.
time travel. You were
Yeah,
like,
it was
what?
it was wild. I mean, the signs were still everywhere and this and that, but it was just bugged out.
I
It was
know.
bugged out.
That's why I need to get out of here. I don't know how much longer I could take it.
Yeah.
Or live in the area. I don't know. Not if it's gonna be like this going forward still. And
Yeah.
I think it will because it's gonna turn into even more like New York here.
Well, I don't know. I mean, either way, it was really eye-opening. I have not been to a place that was just that anti-mask. It was crazy. And I mean everybody. It wasn't just like, it was everybody. It was young people, old people, didn't matter. I'd say probably out of the customers that came into the restaurant while I worked for the 2 days I was there, I'd say 80% of them didn't have a fucking mask.
Good for them.
The majority of them. And I didn't say shit.
That's a place I want to be.
I usually don't. Like I told some lady that. She got mad at me. I'm like, I'm not the police. I said, what do you want me to do? You want me to go out and remove somebody from my restaurant because they're not wearing a mask? I'm not going to do that.
That's ridiculous.
I'm not going to do that. That's not my job. I'm not going to do it. They can either wear a mask or not.
It's
If
so
you have a
crazy.
problem with it, take it up with them. Like, I just work here. I'm selling you food. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah, and like, I don't even know like why you wouldn't just leave someone alone.
Yeah. And if you're not scared about it, don't go inside. We have curbside. We have delivery. Like, there's just so many. There's options to avoid that situation. So to put yourself in it and then come at me for it's your own fucking fault. Like, and that's what I should have said. Like, you put yourself in this situation. I could have brought it to your car for you.
Right.
You literally could have sat in your car and I would have just came up to your window and said, "Here's your food," but you chose to come inside. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Don't come at me for it. She got super pissed.
people are just gone. Like you seen there's a video this dude painted a mask on his face. And he went through stores and he was like, nobody has said anything. I just have you could see my mouth.
Like, I don't care. I'll wear the motherfucker. I've already said it a million times. I don't care. It was just really nice to, like you said, it felt like time travel to go somewhere where I was with other people and I felt comfortable. So I took my mask off and I'm like, oh my God, it's like liberating. It's great. So
It's like showing your tits. You
it-
should have flashed your
a little bit.
tits.
I should have fucking gotten naked. I should have just started streaking.
You should have.
Woo! I should have. But no, it was lit. And then the drive back, bro, I drove over the Susquehanna River. All right. Now, people don't appreciate nature enough. Sounds kind of corny, but whatever. They don't.
No.
Because I'm sitting at the light, first of all, before the bridge to go over, and I'm looking at it. And the water looks like it's running, but it's not. It's frozen. Okay? Think about that for a minute. Like, water freezes in motion. Like, I never really thought about that. And you don't really think about that, right? Like, because a pond freezes calm because there's no waves.
Yeah.
There's not a current.
No, it has to be really cold for a river to freeze.
Bro, it was frozen solid. But I'm like sitting at the light looking at it. I'm like, it's not moving. That is the coolest fucking thing I might have ever seen. Like,
Yeah.
and I should have took a picture of it. But I just feel like sometimes we take a lot of shit for granted. And like, just looking at that for a minute, I was fucking blown away. Like,
Yeah.
nature's crazy. Like, it didn't even dawn on me. It didn't dawn on me that how cold it had to fucking be there. It was like 19 degrees at that point. So it was definitely cold enough. But it made me like do a bunch of research. All right. So the current is still running underneath it.
Yeah.
That's fucking nuts. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Nuts. And there's a layer in there where the current is running underneath the ice and the friction is actually making the water warm.
Yeah.
So there's layers where it's like frozen,
Warm.
and then really cold again.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know. I was like going all fucking sciencey but I don't know. Sometimes you just don't pay attention to shit like that.
I always do that
And
shit. You know, I'm out there taking pictures
I
and
know,
stuff.
it's
So
what-
like,
dude, that's exactly what I thought of. I should have just parked the car for a minute and took my phone out and took some really good pictures because it looked trippy. It really did. And like I came across the bridge and came around the bend, and I'm driving up the highway more, and then you're driving along it, and that's when you can really get a good view of like, wow, you're moving, and the river's just not, but looks like it's moving. Like it fucked with my head a little bit. Like
I'm constantly in awe of that type of shit.
yeah, I don't
Like-
I it made me think, do waterfalls freeze in mid? That's got to look fucking cool
Yeah.
too. I remember seeing a fountain in Hellertown.
You can go up to like
that
Glenanoco
froze in like
when
mid-
it's super cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to see
You
that. Or
probably
get some
might
cool
die.
pics.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to die then, so maybe I won't go.
It's probably very dangerous.
It's a very good disclaimer. Thank you. You can go there. I mean, you might die.
Yeah.
All right.
I wouldn't suggest climbing those
I won't go.
things in the winter.
Yep.
Jesus.
I won't. I don't know. I don't even want to climb. I just want to get a picture.
Well, you got to climb some stuff to get there.
Okay, then nope.
I didn't go. I think there's the easy way. I probably took the hard way when I
Right.
went, but yeah. But when we were coming back from the Poconos on Christmas, we were coming down the mountain as
Yeah.
the sun was rising, and there was just like an incredible fucking sunrise, like right over the mountain.
Yeah.
And it was just so big, like
Yep.
you've never seen. Well, sometimes you see the sun so big, but
Yeah.
like that was the biggest sunrise that I ever seen.
Yeah, how
like
cool is that?
over top of the mountain.
And that's something that you and your lady get to share.
Yeah.
Like how fucking cool is that? Like that's dope, man. Like, yeah, people don't appreciate shit like that. Stuff like that happens in our lives a lot. And we're too fucking busy and worried about other bullshit to not realize that those type of things they're priceless. Like you'll never be. It's shit you can see in a magazine or you can be shown in class when you're a kid or see on a fucking show, but to just have it happen in front of you, to like, wow, I really saw that.
I always do that. I love the sky. Whenever the
saw
sky's nice, I'm like, the sky is amazing right now.
I saw a tornado in my rearview mirror.
Yeah.
When I was a kid.
And you shit your pants.
Driving, I almost did. Like we were at like a graduation from my cousin, and he was graduating from the Marines, which I think is in Ellis Island in South Carolina. I think it is. But on the way back, there was a tornado, and like, I don't know, we were gonna go to Kentucky or Tennessee on the way back or something. And of course, that had to happen. And as we're driving, you can see it form. It was far away, like it wasn't anywhere near us, but to see that again, something that. You can see it on TV. You can be taught it in class or whatever, see it in a fucking movie. But to visually be like, fuck, if we were a mile back and sitting in our car, we'd be going like this and it'd be fucking over.
Yeah.
Like, wild, bro. Wild. Nobody, got to pay attention to shit like that.
Absolutely.
That's the one thing I like about Allentown, too. We don't get shit like that.
It's a decent area. For the weather patterns, I like it around here because you get to see all of the weather.
Yeah. We just don't get like.
And by the time you're really
tornadoes.
annoyed.
We got a hurricane, which was crazy. Twice, actually. I think we got hurricanes, right?
Yeah, we got some hurricanes.
Yeah.
But by the time you're like really annoyed with the season, it's pretty much over.
Yeah. Even the snow that we just got, it's already fucking starting to melt.
It's
really
going to be
fast.
spring.
Yeah. Like, get over it.
Next month, it's going to be spring.
But we do have snow coming tomorrow.
And then, I don't think there's enough spring. It gets really hot really fast now.
Yeah.
You get like a week of like decent weather, and then it rains a bunch, and you're like, this sucks.
I think March, April weather.
And then it's 100.
Where is it like March and April weather all the time?
I looked up these places.
All right. Yeah, if there's a place that has like March, April is like what?
Like 60s, 70s.
55 to 75 is what I was going to say.
Absolutely.
Anywhere
Amazing.
in between there?
All year. I want to live there.
Where is
There's
it?
a place in California.
Where is it?
In America, there's a place in California like that.
California's a lot of places like that. They say San Diego's like 80 degrees and sunny all the time. Like the weather's like perfect.
Yeah, that's too hot though.
80? Yeah, well, I mean, if you have a good breeze, because
there's a lot of down there.
Okay, so you won't find Torsten there.
Yeah. 75 is my breaking point. Once it gets to 76, I'm out. I don't like it. I'm sweating. My ass is swamp.
Mm-hmm. Swamp ass.
That's the 1 degree temperature change.
Yeah.
I can tell.
But going down, like temperature wise, it can drop below 55. I don't mind.
Dude,
cold.
it can go down to 30. I'm gravy.
Yeah, I don't mind the cold.
Me
Once
either.
you get in the teens, if it's like,
I'm still fine then, as long as it's not windy.
yeah, good point.
Once the wind hits you, you're like, fuck this.
Yeah.
If it's just really cold, no wind, I don't care.
Yeah.
It could be one.
Once the wind blows, you're like, fuck you.
Yeah, the cold wind is so disrespectful.
Cold wind ain't got no respect.
It doesn't, yo.
It don't respect shit.
Riga said California is run by communists. Yes, I know. That's why I do not want to live there unless they secede from the union. Some parts of them. Not the union. It's not a union anymore. I guess, maybe, isn't it? I don't know. Yeah, speaking of communists, I was just going back and forth with this one dude. And because Pitbull put out he was on Drink Champs talking about communism in Cuba and shit like that, and how it's coming here. And I'm going back and forth with this dude, and he like tried to shit on me. He was like, "Oh, I'd rather listen to not Pitbull, but somebody else." He was like, "I know this other guy from Cuba, and he said it's nothing." I'm like, "Okay." And he was like, "I'd rather listen to them instead of somebody who's never left the Lehigh Valley." And I'm like, "What are you talking about? Do you know where I've been?"
Yeah.
Like, why would you say that?
But I mean, well, so then with that type of argument, you can say,
You're retarded.
well, not only that,
I say you're
anybody
retarded.
that's not from Cuba can't say anything about it because you've never been there. It's
Right.
That's a poor argument. It is.
I'll show you a bunch of Cubans who tell you the opposite.
It's a poor argument.
So it's like, you could do that with any argument. It's like, oh, this person's from here and they say this, and I'll show you another person who's from the same place and they say the opposite thing. So you ultimately have to get down to like the truth, and like stop basing your argument over like whatever you want
The
to call it.
truth is dead. There is no truth anymore.
There is.
There's not.
As long as you're
Because
willing,
it's people-
as long
it's-
as you're willing to fight for it.
It's people's own narrative. People
for sure.
People make their own narrative when it comes to truth now.
Absolutely.
You know, there used to be trust in certain areas of where we got information, but
It's all gone
it's
now.
gone. It is. So making arguments with people, it's kind of pointless at this point.
That's why I tell people like just use your brain.
There's no
just use
arguments are a thing of the past. They are. I put that on there. I think respectfully disagree is dead or something. I put that on Facebook the line because it is.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's not even those type of arguments that you used to be able to have with somebody. They're gone.
it. Gone.
They're
I
no
agree.
more. They're no more.
I respectfully agree.
Right. But they're no more. They are. So,
No, because I'm super done agreeing to disagree
Yeah.
or respectfully
So
disagreeing.
unless
unless we're talking about like food or something.
Yeah.
Like you want to talk about something actually subjective.
Yes.
Then yeah,
yeah, but what?
music.
Yeah.
You want to talk about what you like.
That's why.
Then yeah.
Yes, for sure. Absolutely.
But other
pop
things-
culture related things.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. Yeah, but when it comes to shit like that,
Other
I'm like,
things I tell
man,
people, fuck you.
have your view on it.
You're wrong.
Yeah, because what is the likelihood? And this is always going to be my argument for this. Are we going to be able to have a conversation where one of us is going to come out of it saying, "I was wrong and you're right. Good point. Thank you."
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
No, it doesn't happen.
That's not how those conversations go. So don't have them.
It never happens. Like
No.
even with
No.
me, it's really hard. And I'm very open to being wrong, even though most people don't think so. But I've changed my mind on extremely major things in my life.
Yeah.
So my mind is capable of being changed.
Yeah.
But it's just going to take a while.
Yeah, but it's also you're gonna have to be the one to change your own mind.
Right.
We always are. Like
Right.
we're
But you have to be
influenced-
willing to
Yes.
look into those things deeper.
We're influenced to change our mind, but at the end of the day, it's up to us to actually change it.
Right.
We can be fed the same information that somebody else is, but they are going to absorb it and use it differently. Everybody does.
For sure.
You know, and that's why those type of arguments, like you said, food, sports teams, whatever, let's
Yeah.
have them. Because we can pop shit about it and say, fuck you, eat a dick at the end and still be cool.
Right.
But some other areas, not so much.
And most people, when you have arguments with them about things that they don't want to concede anything or be proven wrong, they just forget about that conversation entirely, like tomorrow.
Yeah.
And they never look into it any further. They never like ponder on it more. They just like keep going with what they thought.
Yeah.
Like shit. When I get confronted with shit, and I have debates and disagreements with people, like I look into it more. You know what I
Anytime
mean?
me and
Like-
you would talk about something or like that, I'd always look into it. Educate yourself. Be okay with being wrong. Be okay with learning and changing. Like
Yeah.
that's another thing that people make the argument, like when they'll post like, oh, this person said this 4 years ago and now look what they're saying. Well,
yeah, no shit.
yeah, because people
called learning.
It's called learning and growing and adapting. Yeah, hello. Like that's so when you have that argument too, don't come at me with that shit either.
Yeah.
Another reason why I don't have these arguments
Yeah.
because that's a poor argument too. That's the same thing like, oh well, you've never left the Lehigh Valley, so you can't talk about anything other than that.
You're like, why not?
Okay,
Even if I didn't,
that's fucking
I
stupid.
have. But even if I didn't,
Yeah.
what's that got to do with
Doing
anything?
anything, it's stupid.
No.
I can still be like, Florida's hot as fuck, even though I've never been there.
And
Because
you'd be
guess
like,
what?
how do you know? You never been there.
Yeah, well, I can read a thermometer, asshole. All right, I know what it says. The temperature is there, and I trust it.
It's
all right?
hot.
It's hot as fuck. All right. Ask somebody that's there. Yo, is it hot? Yup.
I know. And I keep telling this dude, like he keeps going back and forth. I'm like, yo, dude, read the fucking book and find out what the belief structure is, and you'll find out. but you won't. You're scared of learning. Just read the shit. It's fine. It's fine if you're wrong.
You have to be okay with
you get to
being wrong.
learn. And if you don't think you're wrong and you agree with that ideology, then you can just accept that that's what you believe.
Yeah. And that's where we have to be. I think that's why before I don't know, like early 90s, like when Rock the Vote came out and stuff. Like I think that's when this snowball got bigger going down the hill of opening up about politics. You know, because
Kinda in a way, in some, yeah,
It
it's
really
been going on for a long time, but
but our parents didn't talk about it.
no,
Like our parents were able to be like, one's a Republican and one's a Democrat, and they can live under the same roof and
Right.
not be like
yeah.
wanting to murder each other or you know what I'm saying? Like it's not like that anymore.
If there was a smaller group that was more at each other's throats, but they were more politically involved, like with the ideologies,
Yeah.
and they would have their debates and shit.
Yeah. But, I
But
really
now
think
so
around
many
that
people
time-
are involved, and it's so focused on that in the public square
Yep.
that that's all people think about,
Yeah, everything's political.
and they don't know anything.
No. That's why we don't and that's why we didn't talk about it before. At least back 20 years ago, 30 years ago, we were not as ignorant as we are now to be able to say we don't know enough to talk about it. So let's just not talk about it.
Right.
We can
Like you can like who you like,
yeah,
but
have
don't
your view on
act
some-
like you know
yes,
what the fuck
yes.
you're talking about.
Now,
Yeah.
oh dude, this fucker is oh god, whatever.
And then people get mad, and it's like, well,
Yeah.
okay, who told you that information? What are you talking about?
And that all comes back to what I was saying before about facts are dead, and that type of shit's dead because it's where you get your information. Even as much as the news. Like news companies are politically driven. Fox is a Republican-based news company, and pretty much everybody else is Democratic.
Yeah.
You know? So you're going to get two different sides of the story no matter where you get it from. You know? That's why I read both.
It's all insane.
It
It's
is.
all bad.
It is.
But-
It is. It is. It's a big trust thing. The trust has been broken, you know. And I don't even know it's necessarily the media's fault. I think social media is the culprit, but the media fell into the trap is what I think the problem is.
I think social media exposed a lot of it.
It exposed a lot of the bullshit, sure, but the media could have saved itself by not falling into the social media trap, and that's where.
yeah,
that's,
but they can't because they're so driven by attention.
I know, because that's where the ratings are now.
Once you bring that into it, and then once you get what you asked for, the ball's fucking rolling, and
Yeah.
they can't get out of that now. So now they have to sensationalize everything.
Yeah.
The guy got to keep them clicks.
Wouldn't an easy
Gotta keep them
solution
clicks
be
going.
just to have no political advertising of any kind on social media platforms?
I think we should get rid of all advertising of all kinds.
I mean, I agree, but it's such a big.
it's a big step.
It is. I agree. I think it's a. My company, the one I work for, Five Guys. We don't advertise. We don't
Yeah.
have an advertising department.
Right.
So you can survive as a company
Absolutely.
without advertising, and we are a Fortune 500 company
That
that
used
made
to be the
over
way
$1
of the
billion
world.
last year. So
It used to be illegal to advertise.
now it's become a marketing thing, and that's all it's about, marketing. And and I'm okay with the advertising. I really am. But
It's too much at this point. It's too much because
I've never seen anybody get in an uproar over like an ad for a cheeseburger or something like that. But I've seen
I probably
it
have
happen.
got mad over a cheeseburger ad.
Well, it's possible. But I mean, like, so easy solution. Just how about no political ads, no political money, none of that involved. It's not going to happen.
Right. No, not at this point.
Losing advertising altogether is more likely than to happen than to have the other than to have that happen. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, that'll never happen. But that's America. We know our problems. We just don't want to face the solution.
Yeah, it's not gonna. It's not gonna. It's just gonna keep getting worse until a new country's formed.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna happen.
Who knows? I mean,
It's gonna break off.
I'm cool right now.
It's not gonna keep going like this. It can't. There's no way.
I mean, 2020 for me, I had a good year.
I liked it.
I had a good year.
I was very entertained.
I mean, as far as like the shittiness of what's going on Earth for 2020, as far as everything, obviously, but like financially, like my family, like
Yeah.
that stuff. Fuck, I had a great year.
yeah, we're in the.
Great year.
I don't want to say privileged group, because I hate that word, but
It's not, because there's nothing I've got privilege. I've worked for every fucking thing I have.
Right, for sure.
Like my mom and dad lost.
saying
like,
it in a
they went
diff-
bankrupt
I'm
the
using
year
it-
I graduated high school. Like I've been on my own since then. Like I've earned everything. I'm
I'm using it in a different way.
I know what you mean. I'm in a field where I was.
We're lucky.
I'm essential. That's what it
Yeah.
is. I'm essential, bro. I'm in a field where I'm in the food industry.
Right.
It's the one industry that, like, yeah, it's suffered, but some companies thrive.
Yeah.
Ours thrives.
There's some people who aren't as lucky job-wise in these
Fair
times.
enough. Yeah. Yeah.
So if you're making money now and you're not in a financial scam of of industry,
Yeah.
you're pretty lucky right now.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are doing really bad.
Yeah.
What the hell were we talking about?
You got a
just before
stimmy
that?
coming. You got another stimmy coming.
I
Probably next
guess.
week.
Do we?
Probably next week.
I mean, I just bought a bike.
Yeah. Probably next week. And you know
I
what?
bought a bike with my other one.
I don't want to sound political here, but I will say this. I was reading that there was back and forth about this stimulus plan. They pushed it through because Democrats can do that because
Because they got everything.
they got everything. Okay. But Joe Biden compromised because the Republicans wanted to lower like the threshold of who gets checks. So he cut it off. He was like, all right, people that make over a certain amount, they don't get shit.
I think that's dumb.
If you make X amount of money, you don't need a stimulus.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think so. But I think that's going to cost more because now they have to delegate. Like,
Well, nah. So what it did was it actually saved like $500 million or something, or $1 billion.
Yeah,
Like, it
but
was a good save.
now you have to
But it was
hire
compromised.
someone to make those calls. Like somebody has to research how much money you're making, whether to give it to you or not.
So I think the cutoff is like an individual who makes over $150,000.
Yeah,
a
I know
year.
that, but think about how do you tell that when you're sending the payments out?
Well, you tell that based off of the taxes. Fortunately, people just paid their taxes.
Yeah,
So
but
you'll have-
before
you'll
they
have
would
what
just
they-
like go like, oh, everyone, you know?
Yeah.
You
Well,
press a button, now
so
everyone
actually,
gets it.
I read this. So the breakdown was 71% got a full payment, and 18% of Americans got a partial payment, and the outliers got nothing because they're super fucking rich and don't need any extra money.
Yeah.
So that's how they broke down the payment. So it was only 88%.
I don't know, maybe it's easier than I think it is.
Yeah,
but
it is. It is. Because they have, I mean, think about it. The IRS is the one cutting the checks. They have what everybody makes every year, so they know what
But-
people are making.
Yeah, they got, I don't know.
You know?
But this is a
But-
point
but-
I made to somebody online too,
Mm-hmm.
in regards to the cap and shit like that. Like, if you're making 60, say the cutoff's 50 grand.
Mm-hmm.
If you're making 60 grand, but you live in San Francisco, you're like homeless.
True. True.
You know?
True.
Or if you live in New York City,
Yeah, but-
that's nothing. Like, you have you're poor as shit.
Yeah.
Making 60 grand in these places.
Yeah. But they're gonna go off of, but here's the other thing though. Let's say you're making 60 grand living in San Francisco. You probably were making 125,000 the prior
Yeah, but
year.
you still don't get it. You still don't get the payment then if that's the cutoff.
True.
If they just go
True.
by numbers.
True. You're right. So that can get sketchy.
Yeah.
You know. So and again, it's not a perfect world, but it's enough. But here's the other side of that. Those people that might be making that, they're in that middle ground, whatever profession they're in, more than likely this money going back is going to stimulate. Like we've already discussed, like whatever money we get back,
Well,
we're
I
going to
think-
we're going to use Andy. We're going to spend money on people that we know to do services for us to put it back into the economy and into their pockets. That's really what we should be doing.
The
anyway
real
with it.
reason why I think they're doing the cap is because they don't want the GameStop situation to happen again.
I mean, that's possible. But see, here's the thing: the GameStop situation's rich people's fault to begin with.
I know.
And
because
what's fucked up is
because
that,
the whole shit is a
and
scam.
what's fucked up is that they tried to take poorer people for granted, and those poorer people said, "Fuck you, assholes! We're gonna steal your money."
Yeah.
And it wasn't even stealing their money. They played a legal game. They did
Yeah.
it fairly.
I know, but they don't want that again.
I know. So don't play the stock market like that.
I know.
How about that, rich people? Don't be fucking greedy and do stupid shit like that. Don't start hedge funds and dump buy a bunch of stock and don't do shit like that. You won't have stuff like that happen.
It's all a scam.
I know. I still
All a
still
scam.
put my money in stocks though.
Well,
I
there's
just
a
rolled
there's a
some
way you could do it that's ethical.
Yeah.
It's like you believe in this company, so
Yeah.
I want to put my money here because I think it's going to succeed.
Yeah, I have money in Apple, bro. I got 10 or 11 stocks in Apple.
Yeah.
I own WWE, like 10 stocks.
Yeah, you're like when companies that you like.
Yeah. Well, not only that, WWE just signed a $1 billion deal with NBC to be on the Peacock network. I'm fucking looking into this. Are you kidding? If you were a major investor in this company, and this company just signed a deal for $1 billion, it's more than likely going to make the value of the company go like this.
Yeah.
So I got in at the right time. And I also own stock in the largest marijuana dispensary in the United States. That's the place in Las Vegas, the one that you see. They sell like all the high-end shit and stuff.
Yeah.
I own 14 shares of that company.
Yeah. I haven't got into it.
I had a Roth IRA that I had money sitting in, and it grew over a couple years. So I looked into it like about a month ago, and I was like, yeah, I can just buy stocks because it's through T. Rowe Price or something. And you can do it right from your phone. So I just did all the deals right from my phone. I made good money. I bought stock in another weed company. I bought like 100 shares because it was only like $5 a share, and it went up to about $8.50 a share. So I dumped it. I made $350.
Mm-hmm.
So then I took all that money and turned it right into this other weed thing, and now that's up.
Yeah.
So I just bought more stock in that, and bro, I'm doing all right.
That's the thing with
Doing
like
all right.
with the thing with the GameStop thing is like even when you do trades like that, like you always need a buyer because you can't sell off your trade
Yeah.
unless there's a buyer.
Right.
You're not getting no money. So with the whole way the system is unsustainable
And real quick,
because you could theoretically do that infinitely.
absolutely. And real
And
quick,
there's not that much money supply.
this goes back to an argument I just made about 10 minutes ago. The culprit here on that, social media. It was Reddit. It was someone posted on there. And like, did you really like read into and like figure out what actually happened?
Oh, yeah, I know all about
So the
it.
hedge fund bought a shit ton of stocks.
Yeah.
Someone made an article on Reddit like, hey, so-and-so bought a shit ton of GameStop stocks. That piqued interest, so they started buying up stocks. The value of it went up. People started dumping it and making money.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy, like really, really nuts. Think about if social media was not a thing, if that type of platform was not a thing, nobody would have known about it.
No, it would have just went
Unnoticed.
It would have went just
would've went unnoticed.
It would have went like
Nobody would have been like, oh,
it would have went.
why
like
is this hedge
how,
fund
how
buying?
all the politicians do it?
You know, why is this hedge fund with all these people, these rich people involved in it,
Yeah.
buying all the GameStop stock?
You never hear about the politicians who do all these deals, and they get the legislation, and they're like, oh, this legislation's coming down the pipeline. Buy
Yeah, that's
buy
another
this
thing.
amount of stock, and then they buy it super low, and then they sign the fucking papers, and then shit shoots up.
If you work in a casino, you can't gamble in a casino.
Right. They're gambling in the casino.
If
Is the
you're-
thing.
That's exactly what I was just gonna say.
Yeah.
If you're a politician or if you're in the stock market, you can have money in the market and cause an effect on it.
Mm-hmm.
That's super bad business.
Terrible.
I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why if I'm going to put money in stuff, I'm going to put it in stuff that I support. And believe me, when it comes to WWE, I don't support everything. They deal with Saudi Arabia. I think they're a fucking shady ass country. I don't know why they do business with them.
They're
Probably-
probably
they're
they're
getting
probably
paid.
one of the best countries because they're so demonized. They're
They're fucking terrible.
The ones that we like the most are probably the worst.
No, any country that won't shake a black man's hand or look at a woman
It's good in your eyes.
I think they're terrible. There's just so many wrong things about Saudi Arabia. They're a fucking barbaric country that's 2,000 years behind. Still makes their women cover their faces.
I
and
mean,
kill
we
gay
make
people.
everybody
It's
cover their
ridiculous.
faces now. Not
That's
even
also
just,
true. That's a good point. It's a valid point. Not just the women.
Not
All right.
even for religious
All right.
purposes.
Point taken. Point taken. Maybe Saudi Arabia isn't that bad.
It's
just
probably
too hot.
It's probably good.
And
It's way too hot.
It's a lot of desert.
Yeah,
Lots of
absolutely, way
sand.
too hot.
Lots of sand.
Yeah, so they're probably all right.
Yeah, all right. They're cool.
I think I like Saudi
Not bad
Arabia.
Saudis.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's all good. They're fine over there.
They're fine.
They don't even
It's
they don't wear
fine.
any masks in like Egypt, in Cairo.
Yeah.
No masks at all.
At all.
I was watching some like gay dude try to do like a documentary, like exposing them. He like went there like, hey, you guys aren't wearing masks. What are you doing? You guys are retarded. And like he was like interviewing people around there. He was
Yeah.
like, why don't you wear them? He was like, the dude was like, we wore them for like a week, and we were like, this is dumb. And he was like, now just nobody cares, and it's fine.
That's wild.
And he was like, you guys act like it doesn't exist. They're like, dude, nobody's wearing it. We're all fine.
Yeah. To be fair, I'm sure the traffic going in and out of Egypt is not very heavy. Not very tourist friendly, from what I hear. Like,
Egypt, I heard it's pretty nice tourist wise.
It's not what I heard. I heard like you can go to the surrounding area and get pictures, but to get like up close, that shit ain't.
No,
Nah, that shit ain't
I know a
likely.
couple people who went. They liked it, but
Yeah.
they're also African Americans. So they're probably just excited to be there.
Yeah.
It's like if I go to a shitty place in Germany or something,
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm excited to be there.
I would like, you know what I would like to go? I'd like to go see like the Mayan temples in like South America and shit. That'd be
Yeah,
fucking
I don't want to
dope.
go to Mexico though either.
Nah, I think there's something like Brazil and those other countries.
I want to go
ain't going
to
there.
I want to go to Egypt now because they sound awesome about the no mask thing.
Yeah, like that's where I want to go.
Yeah. Anywhere like that, I'm fine with now.
Yeah.
That they're like super, like religious or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I think I understand their rules now, and I could abide by them without it like getting murdered.
And you look like most of their dudes already anyway.
And I look legit.
I look legit. Like, look at me. Come on, guys. Come on.
Yeah. So I think I could get by now.
I think you can get by.
So,
I think you do all right, man. You did
except
fine.
for the hotness, like I
Yeah.
don't want to get.
Yeah.
The problem would be getting there because I have to get on a plane in America,
Yep.
and then that would be a problem for me. And yeah, I don't really want to go to Mexico either. There's mad Mexicans.
That's typically what's in Mexico. They tend to be there.
They
When in Mexico, there's typically Mexicans.
They live there.
Yeah, they live there.
Anywhere where they say to not drink the water, I kind of don't want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
I
just don't.
kind of agree with that.
I don't want to be there.
Someone said that about Jamaica, but I had a wonderful time. And
What do they call it? Montezuma's Revenge.
What's that?
That's when you drink the water in these countries and you get the shits for like a week.
I never.
It's
I
called Montezuma's Revenge, I
I
think.
don't know. I've never had that problem. But then again, I've only been in Jamaica. It's the only place I've ever been. Well, I've been to Canada, but they're just America
Yeah,
light.
you're not. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're just pussies.
Yeah, they're America
They're-
light. That's all it is.
They're the pussies of America.
They are.
But yeah,
Canada's a cool ass country though. I liked it.
I want to go.
my
to,
kinda weather.
Yeah. I'm open to moving to Alaska.
Yeah.
You get paid to live in Alaska.
Really?
Yeah, you get $1,600 a month to live in Alaska.
Really?
Yeah,
Damn, I could do that.
yeah, because they do so much oil work,
Yeah.
oil drilling and shit. They split up all the profits from the oil,
Jesus. Wow.
whatever
I would
companies,
live there.
and they give them to the people who live there.
I'll just move to a big city like Anchorage.
Well,
They have
that's
to
where
have-
everybody lives and stuff.
There
Pretty
you go.
much.
Perfect. I'll go live with everybody else in Alaska.
Yeah,
Can't be that bad.
they'd love your skinny jeans in Egypt. Maybe. They might get excited about it.
Oh, Gabe, that was gold. Thank you, sir.
But I'm down for Alaska.
Yeah, Alaska would be all right.
Yeah, it warms up.
Even Washington State, I think, is pretty far up there.
Yeah, it's really gay there though.
Is
They're
it?
like a bunch of gays.
Oh, okay.
So you have to like close your butthole all the time
Right.
because you never know. The one might be looming around the corner.
Just waiting
just
to
l-
penetrate.
just looming.
Just looming and
To
waiting to
penetrate.
penetrate.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you gotta watch out.
A lot of loomers out there. A lot of loomers.
So I don't know about Washington.
Now, Toronto was a dope city when I went there when I was a kid. It's a cool city.
Yeah, it's up there.
It is.
It's not far away.
It's about 6-7 hours.
Yeah.
It's a nice drive. I said I think I'm gonna start doing that on Sundays. I was listening to
Go
a
to
podcast. No, I was listening to a podcast, and this dude said that he every Sunday him and his wife they just drive 3, 4, 5 hours. They'll explore different areas.
Oh, and come back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a cool ass fucking idea. I thought about it. I'm like, man, in a 5-hour round trip, I can get pretty fucking far.
Oh, for sure. You get it to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, fuck yeah. I've gotten to Pittsburgh in just under 4 hours.
Yeah.
That's good fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
Really good time to get to Pittsburgh's far as fuck. People, they sleep on PA because getting from like Allentown to Philadelphia and back and forth, you're talking
Easy.
an hour.
You could get there 40 minutes.
Yeah, seriously, like really quick. But getting to fucking Pittsburgh or Erie took me 6.5 hours, bro.
Yeah.
It's the furthest I've ever drove in one shot was Erie to Allentown. That was like 7 hours straight.
I drove to
You
the
stopped
Florida
once or
Keys.
twice. Yeah, but you guys took turns.
No.
No, you drove the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, and didn't stop at all.
No, we took 2 cars, I believe. Yeah.
But you guys didn't stop?
Well, you have to stop for gas and
Yeah,
stuff.
but I mean, like, you didn't sleep. You just drove all the way there in
Yeah.
one day?
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy.
That's like 20. I think it's 24 hours.
Yeah, I would
total.
imagine. I would imagine. Because I know getting to
I don't remember sleeping.
well, when I
more.
was a kid, we drove to Jacksonville, but we didn't do that in a day. But driving home,
You can get to Jacksonville in
18
10 to
hours.
12 hours.
You think so? Wow. See, I could do that. I could drive literally half a day. I could drive 12 hours.
When
No problem.
I think that was when we went down with John and Jewish. Is I made it to like the Florida line. Like Jacksonville's not too far away from.
It's like 30 minutes past the line. Yeah.
We got there legit like 12 hours.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
I think 12 hours is doable.
I was fucking.
That sounds about right because
I was rolling.
I was looking at Myrtle Beach, and to get to Myrtle Beach, it's about 9 hours to
Yeah.
South Carolina. So that I think another 3 hours south
Yeah.
sounds about right.
You could do it. It's possible.
I should just do that for a vacation one year. Like I'll just wake everybody up at like fucking 4 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all right, guys,
Be like, we're going to
get in the
Florida."
fucking car. We're going to Florida.
Yeah.
What? We're going to Florida. Get in the fucking car.
Yeah, you get there.
Yeah.
And then the last, Key West is like 9 hours away from Miami still.
Yeah, because it's the Keys. It's at the
it's the very
that's-
last one. Yeah.
Yeah, don't you drive that highway in the
It's like
middle
a
of the
7
ocean?
mile
7
bridge.
mile, yeah, 7 mile bridge. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
fucking nuts.
insane.
There's one that you go if you ever go to Virginia Beach. There's one that you go through. It's like a 20 mile or 22 mile bridge
Yeah,
slash tunnel.
I went over it.
Bro,
Yeah.
where you go
When we went
underneath,
down to
and then
Gonzo's.
you come up and you're like,
It was all raining. It was rainy and slippery.
Dude.
I was like,
sketchy.
it was very sketchy.
Sketchy.
It was.
There's a stretch where you're on the highway and all you see is ocean.
Yeah.
No land,
I know.
just ocean. Mega sketchy.
And it was rainy,
I can't.
slippery. It was very sketchy. I was a little worried.
Yeah, it's like a 40-minute ride across that bridge or something because you can only go like 35 miles
And it's
an
not
hour
like
at certain
high
stretches.
off of the ocean.
No,
it's like
you're
right there.
Yeah, bro, you're talking. I'm gonna say conservatively like
10 feet.
I was gonna say 6 to 12 feet, somewhere in that range, and it's ocean water. It's fucking crazy. It's so nuts. I can't believe it's like a thing, and it's a legit thing. But it was cool enough that I would want to go back. Virginia Beach is cool. I liked it. Out of all the beach trips I've had, other than obviously going to like Jamaica, I think Virginia Beach was like the nicest beach.
I didn't think it was too nice.
Really? I liked it because
I didn't get. We only went there for like a couple minutes, but
I loved it.
Not that public beach we went to was not. I was.
We
not
stayed on the
impressed.
bay side. All right, so like that's the other thing about
It looks
Virginia Beach.
nicer.
So the bay side,
looked
first of
nicer.
all, there's no waves.
We were on the
It's
ocean
super
side.
calm.
Yeah.
But I like it too because you start to see palm trees. I think
Did you go to
Virginia-
Bayside Heights?
I did not. I should have. Fuck. But even when we went to Virginia Beach, like the actual city itself, I liked it, man. I thought it was cool. I just dug it. Norfolk is where we were at, which
Yeah,
is
that's where we went.
Yeah. I like
Yeah.
Norfolk. And the people were cool. Like that's where you get down to the south, and people are just kind of just chill. They're mellow.
The nicest beach I went to was Miami Beach.
Yeah, I've never been to Miami. I'm sure it's fucking beautiful. I'm sure the vibe is beautiful. I just felt like for family wise, I guess I should say.
Just because the water's so nice there, it's like you see through it.
Yeah. See, I don't like the ocean anyway.
Me either.
I think
but
it's a jerk.
I like being able to see through
Yeah.
the water.
Yeah, that was cool about Jamaica. Like blue water.
Yeah.
I never seen that before. Blue water and white sand was bugged out to me. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like white. Like it wasn't brown sand. It was like white sand, like crystal clear blue water. It made me want to swim in it. And I swim in it. I'm like, gross, salty, gross water. Ew. And I never
You're used
did
to
it
that
again.
from cum though.
Yeah, that I like though because it's warm and my mouth is wide open.
Right.
This
Salt,
I wasn't a fan.
warm
of.
salt
Yes. That I'm.
liquid.
When you're ready for it, it's good. When you're not ready for it,
That's a problem.
yeah. Yep.
So then have somebody, when you jump in the ocean, just have somebody yell, "I'm coming."
Every time.
Yeah.
All right. I think I'm gonna start liking the ocean a lot more now. I do.
You'll be all right.
I do. But, all right. I think on that note, we could probably end it on
Yep.
yelling, "I'm
Gabe
coming."
says, "I can't wear skinny jeans on the beach." Yes, I can. And I have.
And I've worn shoes on the beach too.
Yeah.
I have an old pair of Jordans that I have no problem
fucking throw 'em
walking
on.
on the beach with. But all right.
We'll be out.
See you guys
See
next
you
week.
later.
I want the Chiefs to win, but the Bucks are gonna win. Sorry. It's a shame.